Next.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. 7 yards there and a first down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game. And gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back. It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
You talk about this Falcon defense. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man, and are you going to win that battle? Are you going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground? Because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at the 34.
Ready.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll come up 2nd and 7. A first carry for Tyler Algier. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now 2nd and 5. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Taking a glance here at the numbers last week for Algier. 8 carries, 65 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
Well, they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Algier will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. The Falcons had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. On 2nd, here's Algier. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 49. Now on just 6 carries to this point. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Koo able to connect on the extra point. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. The Raiders heading out to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And he stopped immediately there. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. You talk about this Falcon defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. Where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1-7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football, as they've got it with a fourth down coming up. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it will be Falcon football. Tyler Algier and the rest of this offense making their return to the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Got a man, it's London. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
If you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Ready.
They'll run for it with Algier. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Let's go. Cut.
Ritter with it after the play fake. Rolling to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Ready.
Algier now up the middle, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this offense on third down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Ritter throwing on 3rd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before it crosses over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I do think that sometimes on 3rd and long, many defenders just get caught watching the sticks instead of watching the ball. And the guy who's got it, because here, they just got the ball into the receiver's hands and told him to do it yourself, a little bit of a desperation play. And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big gain and a conversion on 3rd down. That's a big pickup. That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Come on,
2nd and 5. Now a handoff up the middle. Hawkins. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball. Touchdown, Falcons! A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Falcons go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And Hall not going to bring this one out. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half. But I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Open man right side, Myers. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A good pickup there, 22. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? To throw is Garoppolo. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams as the first half down. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now a 2nd and 2. Here's Algier again on 2nd down. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Ready.
First down, and they'll start with Algier. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ready.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
97. Hut.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And this will be a Falcons first down as they get this up to about the 42. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just got to find a way to tackle someone.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Ready.
Ritter now. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Third down, here's Algier. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Only 3. That's enough to move the chains.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here we go. Here we go. Set, huh?
On first down, it's Hawkins, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ritter now on second down. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Back to throw, Ritter. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Ritter. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Ready.
Going for it on 4th down. It's Ritter. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up.
Here we go, here we go,
So
here we go.
as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
2, 2.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on third down. Garoppolo looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Go now.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter. And caught by London. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Algier going straight ahead. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his target. That's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 68 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Troy Anderson applying the pressure and picking up the sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack to fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Ready?
Trying the left side with Algier. Here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The offense on third down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Play action, Garoppolo. And he's got Renfro in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Starting the drive with Algier. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Ritter. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now a handoff to Algier. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Hawkins. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Who wants it more? This is 4th and a yard.
Ready.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Down.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. So first down, and they'll stick with Algier. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A little less than 40 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Algier with another carry. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
On the set.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
3. Set.
Handing it off right side, Algier. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
Now a carry for Algier headed right. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Okay.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Hey, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the Raiders are going to get the football first here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams...
And now off to the races down the right side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. There's Garoppolo to throw. He's got Hooper on the short connection. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Garoppolo again. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up second down.
At the 31-yard line.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 74 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
The open man here, Renfrow.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, if ball gets in the end zone, this thing's over.
And I remember my coach has always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one at